Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Ep28 as Korea. In previous episode we finally hit the 1 million in GDP. Oh sorry, 100 million in GDP, and we got the construction increase such a way that the investment pool is having some issues actually. We're not utilizing our entire construction speed right now, but you know, it's at least there. And I'm sure that once the GDP keeps climbing up and up, the investment pool will start recovering as well. We are still about 37 million behind Jing though. But, you know, the difference isn't that massive anymore. And if we do have a look at the... Oh, right, we can't see the Liberty through here, or the modifiers in there anymore. Don't know if there is any way for me to see that anymore, actually. Because we're currently kind of stuck on... Well, sort of, actually, could I... There's a lot would give us the market control. It would be plus 15 if we gave them the... Yeah, we'll ask for it anyway. Keep the relations managed. On a very low level, mind you. How are we... Okay, we still got taxways of 25,000. In our capital, we got a bit of... or the highest number of taxways. Get another government administration built there. It'll take a little while to build, but we are... Well, okay, we're losing a bit of money. We've still got over 3 million in cash reserves. The investment pool is dropping a tiny bit in size. They are still having a lot of issues funding everything, though. So, you know, at least we started utilizing the investment pool, so it's just not sitting... Or not just sitting there. But there we go, we are... okay, we're still leading producer of man of wars. I suppose until we get the torpedo boats and all that, we will need some man of wars to provide for our fleet. Probably not too many, mind you, but a little bit. With the standard of living decreases currently, radical numbers have gone up drastically. How's the standard of living up here? It is 12.2. Oh, that's a bit below average. Yeah, Zhengzhou is actually pretty good, comparatively. Oh, and Spain is damaging relations. Well, if that's what they want. There we go, 101 million. I think today well, suppose we have slowed down to speed 3 because the game is just chucking at this point. It usually doesn't handle the late game all that well, especially when everyone's starting to have a massive construction speed and all that. And it needs to sort of allocate things, decide what to build and all that. It starts to chuck on a weekly basis. Or at least on a monthly basis. So yeah, we're just keeping on speed 3 and it seems to be somewhat stable at this point. But that's the reason why I haven't really been playing on speed pi the entire playthrough, is because I know that the game, especially on my PC, it's not the state of our PC or anything like that. So, you know, it's not running the game all that smoothly in the late game. I mean, it's not the worst right now, I suppose, but yeah, it could be better. I'm going to go ahead and build another government administration down here in the capital. We are also running a bit low on peasants down here by the looks of it. Do we have the... I suppose we can get some rail transportation. Or some of the mines, at least. Logging camp already had that. We're putting the steam donkey. Needs a bit of coal and engines, but it reduces the labor need quite a bit there. So that might actually reduce the standard of living again briefly. But at the same time, it allows them to then start working at factories and taking better jobs and all that, instead of being laborers. So I think overall that will be a net positive. But initially it might look a bit worse. How are we looking on the market though? The glass price is pretty high. Ironclads are in fairly high demand. And then I suppose engines are in pretty high demand. Explosives are okay. It could be worse, at least. But yeah, we're definitely starting to run a bit low on peasants at this point. Actually, another thing that I should probably do is just go for the textile and we'll get the mechanized looms in there. That's going to be a very easy fix. We've got so much tooling, or tools available, that we can easily do that. We could also put water to boil it for the furniture manufacturing, for example, there. Right, the GDP has dropped a little bit because of these changes, but I'm sure that will recover soon enough. And how we're looking on the... Okay, yeah, we've still got a lot of contract... Oh, we're even getting a synthetics plant. That might be the first one. It's going to be in the capital. Yeah, it will be the first one. So it produces dye production, okay. And that means what exactly? Don't know. Well, we'll find out. But I suppose dye production locally would be actually quite nice, because once, or if we manage to get our independence and all that, getting the dye production domestic or locally in there will actually be really, really good. Because then we are not dependent on the dye production down here in southern China from the market. And, you know, the local production will then allow the production prices over here to be somewhat reduced. I don't know how bad the local price for dyes is. There's a lot of consumption in there, so yeah, that would definitely help. What else are we producing? Is there... Oh, there's a synthetic plant already being built in the southwestern state as well. Well, there are two textile mills in there, so it kind of makes sense. We've got 15,000 peasants down here. I suspect that there might be some... Well, the Art Academy hasn't hired everyone. Livestock ranches, we could probably... Well, we've got the electric fences there, actually, already. There's not too much more that we can reduce in here, really. Because I'm pretty sure that we got the... Yeah, we got the railways. I suppose what we could do is put in things like the steam donkey to reduce the worker numbers needed for some of the mines. And maybe... Well, again, there's probably going to be some better jobs available as well. And there we go, we've got 12.7 now standard living average, so it is slowly climbing up again. The GDP, on the other hand, has kind of stabilized at 100 million currently. I'm pretty sure that once we get a bit more of these things built and all that, it will be better. And looks like the synthetic plant, at least down here, is now ready. So what does it take? It hasn't hired fully. And it's got this 20% boost there, of course. So it takes sulfur and fertilizer. Turns that into dye. I mean, we got sulfur, we got fertilizer. I think the only sulfur that... No, actually, we've got sulfur production right here. Oh. There's a lot of steel mills, motor industries, some more textile mills, more synthetic plants. So I suppose the dye production will be secure. We're getting so much steel production. I do actually wonder at this point, are we one of the leading producers of steel? I mean, at least in the top 10. We are. We're number 6 currently. If we get enough production increase, we might overtake Germany. Or North German Federation. But there we go. Oh, right, and we're not actually building anything. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and drop the taxes. We can still do like 1 billion at a time or something like that, even after that. But where do we have the... Southwestern state could use a bit more government administration. Sure, we'll get one there. We can build up to... Well, it's about 35... Oh, yeah, it is 35 points per week now. I mean, that's not too shabby. Investment pool is still... Actually, it's kind of recovering, but we're not utilizing the entire construction capacity. There's a lot of foreign construction as well, by the looks of it. So we're getting some more arts academies. Let's actually have a look at the population a little bit. So in lower strata, they are spending most of their money on grain. If we could reduce the grain price a bit further... Maybe... Well, I suppose the rice... Well, the grain price itself isn't really that bad. It's just there's not necessarily that much available. Oh, and the torpedoes will be done in a few weeks, that's good. Then we'll get the anarchism and then the pump tracks. Pump tracks is going to be something that we can then reduce the workforce at the plantations quite a bit. We've got plenty of plantations in our nation that we could definitely use some stuff in. Is there... Well, there's a little bit extra in here, but we don't necessarily need to worry about South... Well, either one of these western states yet in terms of workforce. The capital could probably use a... Well, it's actually not that bad yet. But there's a few things that we could probably do to reduce the worker numbers even further. Like the water tube boilers to start using a bit more coal. And there we go. Almost a 51% literate rate. 102 million in GDP. How are we comparing to Jing? Oh, they've got 39 million advantage on us. Okay, so they are starting to get a little bit distance again. But I suspect that once we... Actually, there hasn't really been too many things that increase the production total. Although precision tools, we could get that one. I don't know if that's actually going to be helpful, though. That's going to increase the furniture price a lot. Reduce the luxury furniture even further, which, you know, on the upper strata... Oh my goodness, we're suddenly at 13.0 in standard living. Something must have happened. Something really good, actually. Well, I mean, that's fine. That does mean that we've got a lot more radical... A lot less radicals, a lot more loyalists. Although the radicals still outnumber the loyalists more than 2 to 1. Population still increasing quite a bit. How's the world looking like? How did that war go? Oh, right, it's still ongoing. Yeah, France and North German Federation are fighting over here. Well, I mean, it's 1928, fair enough. There's quite a bit of fighting... Or various diplomatic planes in Africa. So I'm... still prepared torpedoes. So I'm kind of thinking... admittedly, by the time that this episode airs, I might have started recording the next series already. I've got a few options in mind. I might go for, like, one of these smaller nations over here and just build up the sort of, East African supernation in here. Well, not really a supernation, but we'd have to probably do... Oh, monitor is spreading. Well, there we go. Oh, right, actually, can we upgrade the fleets already into light ships? We can upgrade to the torpedo boat here. And we shall do that, and we'll also go ahead and do that on the second fleet. And then what we can do is we can go for the military shipyards, which is... Where exactly? It's somewhere on the list, I know that much. There's the military shipyard. So we'll go for steel hulls. It may not be profitable initially, but it will be. We won't be getting the prestige from being leading producer in Man of Wars any further, of course, but that's fine. Don't think we use too much. There's not that many. Oh yeah, there's really not a lot of producers of it. We might initially have a bit of issues because not all of these are going to be upgraded immediately. But at the same time, once those are sorted out, that will be fine. And so Cyclone. We'll put in a bit of money to the relief fund there. Foreign Manifesto. State religion. No. No. Portugal is having... Oh, Portuguese Congo is trying to get independence. Alright then. Oh, but there we go. 103.6 million in GDP. Bureaucracy is still in pretty high numbers there. We don't really... other than maybe the law enforcement. Oh, might as well increase that, I suppose. That's a lot of steel mills and some other things as well being built. Yeah, another explosive factory, a whole lot of steel mills, some paper mills, some food industries, more explosives, a lot of tools, steel mills, another shipyard. There's so many things that we're building. Right, how are we looking on the taxways? Only 17,000 at this point. Quambo could use another one. Get another government administration in there. They're also building some more mines in there and all that. Is there... so the textile mill's already got all that... what else? The food industries don't really have anything that we can reduce the worker numbers. We could put in the water tube boilers for the engine production. Nothing in the art academies that we can really change. Paper mills. Actually, we can put the water tube boilers there as well. Oh, Social Democratic Party. Oh, well, there we go. 13.1 standard of living. 104 million in GDP. The election season. Let's actually have a look. Who is... Oh, Agrarian Party is actually the leading one. I'm a bit surprised that the Free Trade Party has lost so much of their votes. But fair enough, I suppose. Oh, United Syndicates America. Oh. Well, the communists are spreading. Oh, there we go. Almost 105 million in GDP. We still got quite a distance to the Jing's GDP, but again, we are slowly catching up. But are we catching up quickly enough? I don't know. You know, we'll just give them a bit more momentum. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring some fun times. Right. So our authority extra is not much. That will hopefully change a little bit. Let me double check. Is there anyone that would be willing to support our... Oh. Pressed or oppressed? Oh boy, Labour has become more radical. Well, fair enough. So, anyone willing to support independence? Nope. I'm guessing, no. Don't think I can actually really do too much. So one thing that I was actually wondering is, if we do manage to get another company, is there anything that has something really good for our output? Well, that would be more infrastructure, so that would be pretty good. More bureaucracy. Military goods costs would be also kind of nice. Birth rate would be somewhat useful. Lawless and standard of living increases would be very nice. Formation speed, I suppose, is okay. So looking at the things that would have the productivity needed. Oh, radicals and standard living decreases. That would also be quite nice. And then there's the steel mill building throughput. To be fair, steel is needed quite a bit. Authorial intent. Liberal Party is having some issues. Fair enough. Ah, right. We might become indeed communists still at this point. Although, well, there's not that many years remaining. Like 7 years. So still got some time. But yeah, so the GDP is definitely still improving. That's that. Oh, uprisings in Japan. Alright then. Or is that actually? Yeah, it is in Japan. Oh, which is again into an empire. Alright then. I'm guessing our fleet is... Oh, actually, we probably have a... Oh yeah, we can declare more interest. Alright then, let's go ahead and go for Egypt, Iberia, England, and go from there. Is there... We've got a lot of big convoys as well. We could probably go ahead and do some trading. Is there something that I could export, perhaps? There's some tobacco, perhaps. The Russian market, for example. That's a little bit more trade, at least. So, with 13.1 standard of living, it's not the worst. I mean, oh, actually, we're in the top 40 now. Oh, I mean, that's not too bad. We've got 105 million in GDP, and I suppose we're not building anything right now. There's still a little bit tax waste. Still another one in our northwestern state here. Shouldn't be too bad. The investment port is still kind of struggling to keep up with all the construction that they could be doing. But I'm sure that they will still manage. We are still, okay, the third highest producer of artillery. Occasionally, anyway. The elections are going to be over fairly shortly. I suspect that the petite bourgeoisie is going to be the winner of this. Is there any more laws that we really... Well, I don't know if we'll be able to change a lot of these. Like the tax laws we can't really change because we need a lot more support for it. The right of assembly would be okay-ish. You know what, that's actually not... Well, petite bourgeoisie opposed it. We need to have intelligentsia in the government to be able to push that through, I reckon. Which I suppose currently we do. We'll wait until the election is done to see how that turns out. How is the private sector? They're building a lot of railways right now. Not necessarily a bad idea. Although I'm kind of hope that they build or would build more railways in our capital because the transportation need over here is just humongous. Oh, and there's another explosive factory being built into the capital as well. I mean, that's, yeah, explosives, we are providing a lot right now into the market. I actually wonder, are we are probably one of the, not in the top 3 yet in terms of explosives, but I suspect that we are pretty high on the list there. We are number 6 still. There's still quite a bit of distance between us and Austria. But yeah, we have gotten a lot closer. Well, there we are, 106 million in GDP. That is pretty good. Now, actually, we haven't really had a look at how America looks like. So Canada did get their independence. USA being a socialist. Brazil is still split in half there. Argentina is pretty sizable. Federation of the Americas is the... Oh, right, so is this... Who's actually part of this market? No, it's just basically formerly known as Bolivia, I suppose. Well, fair enough. You do you. And looks like France actually probably won that war. Because they at least own that area now. Oh, what's this then? Levies. So either Conservative Party gets 20% boost, Conservative Party gets 10% boost, and aristocrats' political strength is increased for 5 years, and political strength from votes of farmers is increased. Or momentum added to Agrarian Party. You know what, we'll add the Agrarian Party's momentum. It's basically just the petite bourgeoisie anyway, but yeah. If that's what they get, then that's what they get. And I'm guessing our fleet is now mostly sorted, right? Yeah. And then now torpedo boats. How much do we actually get prestige out of our fleet anyway? 145, that's not too bad. Could probably increase the fleet size even further, but right now I think we're just going to try to focus on increasing the GDP a bit further, which is still going to take a while. We still have a bit of convoys. We're not going to increase the construction speed any further. Well, there's the election. Right, let's have a look. What can we get? Oh, wow. Just Free Party, Liberal Party would be 99%. You know what? Sure. They form a coalition. Right, so in laws, is there, I suppose, legal guardianship? Oh, there's not a lot of opposition for it now. Well, okay, landowners still oppose that, but I think we can actually pass that. That's going to give us a lot more workforce. I like the sound of that. That will probably also increase the standard of living total. Because more workforce, at least in theory, then they can earn their own money, you know. Iron and glass prices are still fairly high. Man of War's price is pretty high, but that doesn't actually really concern us anymore. Jing's GDP is still 144 million, so there's still about 38 million difference. Of course, we're still paying like a massive amount of money. Oh, now I realize what increased the standard of living, wasn't it? It was the tax reduction. Yeah, that's it. Took a while. Oh, and they're no longer supporting our legitimacy. Alright then. Oh wow, they've got 700 battalions? Yeah, no, we won't be fighting our independence here, I don't think. It's kind of an impossibility. They would need quite a strong enemy to fight them at this point in time. Now, how we're looking, we've still got plenty of bureaucracy. How we're looking on the... Oh, right, so we're not trying to pass... No, we're trying to pass a property to women. Never mind. There's so many things happening in here. I'm just going to go ahead and start declaring neutrality on some of these diplomatic plays, because I really don't need to be part of those. Start reducing some of the clutter in here. And the skyscraper survey will be done soon. Ooh, that's going to be good. Let's actually, in the meanwhile, we'll go ahead and build another... Oh, there's the survey completed. Put another port in there, and where does that say that it will be? Oh, that would be in our capital. Lay the foundations. We'll build that one. And that's going to be taking a little while to build, mind you, but once that is built, we can get a bit more bureaucracy from there. Or a lot more bureaucracy. I don't know if it has a huge impact on the tax collection. Well, it's a throughput of the government administration building, so yeah, it kind of does. They've got 107 million in GDP. Still got a lot of work to do to catch up with China, but we are slowly getting there. I suppose more and more of the construction capabilities are now being utilized. There's 20 buildings being built by the private sector, which is not too shabby, actually. The investment pool is still kind of dropping in size every now and then. I think it's kind of fluctuates a little bit whether it's going up or down there. But I suppose overall it's still improving. The literacy rate hasn't increased too much, but it has improved up to 51.6%. We've got 33.7 million population. The average standard of living is 13.1, so that hasn't really improved in the last year or so, I don't think. But, you know, it's still okay, I guess. A lot more industries have been built. I'm looking on the workforce. So is there... Oh, there's a bit of... Oh, yeah, there's a massive lack of workers for... Well, actually, no, there's only 300. Shipyard's got 2,000 extra. That Arts Academy is having some issues. Fertilizer plants could use a bit of boost there. Let's go ahead and... Right, the steel mill is already maxed out. Urban centers, I don't... Oh, I forgot about this. Right, I'm going to go ahead and switch to this one. That's going to reduce the laborers, more clerks. That might help a little bit. Not necessarily in the way that I hope that it would help, but it will increase the amount of glass and steel consumption. It will actually... Yeah, so glass and steel, or less wood, more services. So service price is going to be... well... reduced quite drastically. We can probably get... You know what, actually, after we have the pump track, we'll just focus on the society things. Don't know what is going to start spreading, but I'm going to hope for the identification document at this point. So I'm going to queue that one up. There's the anarchism. Pump track is going to be done. That's going to reduce the worker numbers as well quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this one to current markets as well. Don't know if it's going to have any sort of improvement on the transportation production. Not directly, I suppose. No, it's just the amount of services. But we have a whole lot of services in there. Newspaper office support. We're going to afford taking a bit of a hit on income there. So how's the... Right, there's about 26% chance of success, 33.5% chance of advance, and 40% chance of debate. So we'll be getting that... Oh, investment bank is spreading. Okay, well that's... you know what? I'm going to switch the one in queue for the investment bank then. Because I do want the extra companies as well. Oh, they've got 108 million in GDP. How does China have 145? Right, so the difference is still about 38 million. Which is still quite significant, I would say. And radical numbers are still climbing. How are we looking on the right? There's not a huge amount of extra workers in here. We could probably... No, the tooling workshops already in here are maxed out on that. The textile mill probably are. Motor industries, we can increase the production or reduce the worker numbers there. Munitions plants, we can probably go for the radical engine as well. And then arms industry. Artillery foundry. So that unlocks another 20,000 laborers to then... Well, they might, some of them might just move elsewhere, I guess. We're losing a bit of money right now. Oh, positive epoch. You know, technology research speed would be quite nice. Education, access, and qualification. I'm going to take that. How close are we? Right, so we got some boost from that, I suppose, at least. I don't think we actually managed to go through the entire thing, but that's alright. It happens. So how long until the skyscraper is done? That's going to be taking over a year still. Bit of a shame. Oh, and Young Num. which is the southeastern state, is having some issues with standard of living as well. Okay, well, over here, they are out of peasants. Let's go ahead and start switching some of these productions to be a bit more effective. We'll do one at a time so we don't accidentally crash the entire economy there. It seems like there is a lot of workers needed on various places. I suppose the furniture manufacturer could also get a bit of boost there. So now we've got 70,000 there. That might reduce the standard of living temporarily. Then they'll get to start working on some better jobs, because it's mostly the labourer jobs that are then being replaced, not the engineers or anything like that. And I think overall, oh, law enforcement advanced level 4, there we go. Let's go to the tech some will actually also get the mechanized looms there. Oh, intelligentsia petitions the government to technocracy. We can offer them property to women as a compromise. Sure. Police brutality. We cannot tolerate this behavior. Yeah, you know what, we'll do that one. Which means that we can then start increasing it again to level 4. It's going to take a while, but that's fine. We are still losing some money. Right, well, I suppose we're doing some construction work ourselves. Although it's not going to be that huge. Skyscraper is still going to take a year to be built, though. But yeah, our economy has kind of, well, I wouldn't say stagnated, but the growth has definitely reduced a little bit recently. I suspect that if we can... Oh, more infrastructure from the rural folk. Well, that's good. Oh, looks like... Oh, hold on a minute. If we all look at the interest groups that are no longer active, there's both the landowners and the scholars there. Well, there we go. They no longer play much of a role. I mean, there's so much more industries than they are... Oh. Okay, do we have any more taxes that we can reduce? Or perhaps we increase the wages? Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of reduction in there still, which means that the interest group approval is going to be reduced. At the same time, I guess it does mean that the wages for the government workers will be improved, which does probably increase the standard of living, not immediately, but over time. Of course, in a pinch, we can always just increase the taxation to normal again. Get another 70,000. But we've got gold reserves, we can afford losing some of that right now. Not too worried about it. We're getting some motor industry. Oh, right, so is there still problems in here? There's a bit more labourers available, at least. Some of them are turning into peasants again. Which probably doesn't help their standard of living, mind you. I think we might need to suggest here. We've got a little bit of a... need to reduce the labour in here. It's not too bad here, but I'm going to start getting on top of that already, rather than later. Also, in our capital, we're starting to have a lot of issues. And it's not really people moving away from the nation, I don't think. Ooh, low process study, there we go. Now, we are going to get, if we can get the property women passed, that's going to give us another 5% workforce, which should be probably enough. I suppose we can go ahead and start using the water tube boilers even further. Actually, at this point... Oh, right, yeah, we did get the covered markets as well. A steel mill, we could probably go ahead and use the water tube boilers. Start reducing the worker numbers there, and there we go, 13.2%. Or 13.2 is the standard of living average, so that's definitely on the rise. How are we looking on the... So of the population, Upper Strata makes about 200,000 still. It has increased, it used to be like 70,000. 7 million are middle strata, and then 26.5 million are still lower strata. Of which some of them are still below the average. There's a lot of middle strata that are below the expected standard of living, which is probably a very big reason for the radical numbers. But there's also a fairly good chunk of lower strata that are below the threshold. I think we'll be mostly fine now. We are still getting a whole lot of explosives and engine production, and some consumer goods, some munitions, tools, power, more shipyards. We're building a lot. Chinese are still building a few things as well. How are we looking on the... No, the Liberty Society hasn't really changed too much. Could request support, but they're not willing to do that. I don't think I will, mind you, but I could. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.